Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be looking at lat strains with you guys. And before we get into exercise selection and modifications and what to do kind of in order from isometrics on, we need to understand that these type of injuries, lat strains, right up in here, most often occur in people or athletes who are throwing at high velocities or very fast, such as pitchers, QBs, and anyone else under the sun who actually throws every single pretty much damn day. And that being said, when we're looking at lat strains, obviously it's usually microtrauma, so we want to avoid stretching afterwards. But looking at exercise selection, what these athletes are mostly doing wrong, not all of them, sometimes they're just predisposed genetically or just have a bad day and throw off bad biomechanics and aren't moving correctly or move dysfunctionally that day. But one common problem we see is people are often resorting more to a horizontal rowing variation, where we need athletes to understand that we want them to train, not all the time. We want to have obviously their horizontal rows and programs for them, deloading phases all included in the macrocycle or mesocycle. But look at the big picture, we want to get them comfortable in all types of movement or ranges of motion coming down vertically. And, the best way to kind of, get them away from possible, injury, is to have them train using, either isometrics where they're pulling on something that can't be moved at different ranges of motion until the lat is fully stretched or, in its long contractile fiber orientation. Otherwise, we need to have them use isometrics where they're controlling that motion going up and pulling back down in some sort of vertical row on a lat pull down machine. Also, looking at these athletes, when they're throwing at high velocities, you'll see obviously we're moving into external rotation as we throw, but to get that arm back into internal rotation as fast as possible, that lat, along with other internal rotators, but to stay on topic of the lats, that lat muscle is working extremely hard to get you back to this motion right here and to snap you in. So, if you are not preparing yourself for these movements at high velocity with extreme accuracy, you are going to get hurt. You need to obviously have stretching in your programming. That's great. Working on full articular ranges of motion at every single joint possible is going to help you. And it's going to help you heal even after you get hurt. But looking at not getting hurt, these injuries can be, avoided if people understood the possibility of training at different ranges of motion using isometrics, eccentrics, and all, everything else under the sun that has a time and place in their program. So, point being taken here is to please work different ranges of motion. Understand that your athlete has probably not been taught how to properly train throughout the off season, and even in season, these athletes are not training as much as they should be. These high velocity movements, we need to train these muscles, at speeds where, it's tolerable, but it's going to be somewhat uncomfortable, so we can get them to tolerate that range of motion and that speed with efficiency and accuracy. So that's my 2 cents on that, on lat strains. I will go over some exercises we can do next. The next, video, I'll put a bunch of slides up, but just something to think about, and have a nice day.